Jesus.
Anyway, okay, so the first question we have here that we can get into this weekend is from our friend Joris. You guys might see him a couple times in the Facebook group. And his question is, I feel very alone in my menswear hobby, and I can only really talk about it with others on the internet. It's probably due to my young age. My friends are not really into it, and we don't have any good stores or events I know of. How do you guys find your menswear buddies? Well, the answer is it doesn't get any better than the internet, my friend. Like, that's it.
Doesn't get better than this.
We're talking, we're talking to, like, I mean, I haven't talked to half of these guys before we started the Patreon, but now we talk all the time. So,
Yeah.
Join the Patreon.
Join the Patreon. If you pay,
if you're a good,
he will talk to you.
Yeah, Joris, I've seen you around a long time. You have great style, buddy. Join the fucking Patreon. Stop, hey, just stop getting your avocado toast or getting your Starbucks, and you can, for the price of that,
for the price of a coffee a month,
you can get in on what you're.
I love that
you
could say
live,
like when they say that can mean like anything under like $10 is like the price of a cup of coffee.
Right.
Because I mean, some
Don't you
have
have
like
the money
$8,
That's expensive.
Scott, now I regret resubbing for the pound of edible crickets.
I like the SNL sketch where I think it's
the Bill Hader.
Yeah, like Bill Hader, he's like, send us like just $1, and then all the people are like, no, send us more. Why are you sending us just $1?
Please, yeah, don't leave it to that. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I know this was sent to us a year ago. There's definitely no events anymore, at least where we are.
Events.
Yeah, we haven't really. We've made a couple of friends at events, Spencer, but like not a lot. Most of our, like, all of us in the chat are from the internet.
Listen, and Menfluential is going to be back soon anyway, so we should look forward to that.
I thought Menfluential was like over.
No, they canceled
COVID. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
What?
Like, I think 2019 was the last one, right?
No, last one was 2020 in February.
Oh, okay. Oh, February. So they like just made it, man.
Oh.
That's what I was gonna say. Spencer, the 8-hour video of Menfluential is up on YouTube. The whole thing.
I want to go.
Watch it. We need to watch it.
We should go.
But yeah, I don't know. What else do you guys think about this stuff? I mean, Kiyoshi, I mean, you've been in the hashtag menswear space for a long time. Is it also just the internet?
Old.
It's so funny because like back in the Tumblr day, it was actually a group of us in Chicago that found each other through Tumblr.
Oh my god! What a phrase!
Yeah, I know. So we hung out from then, and then I met some
half my hookups were Tumblr
people.
God, that's just such a weird.
Such a good time.
I loved it.
But like now, it's like I just one of those guys who I got to know. He actually ended up opening his own shop, and I met some more friends through his store. So
what store is it? What's his social?
It was called Maiden, MEYVN. Unfortunately, the shop closed, which is a huge bummer. But we've all kept in touch, and it's been cool to hang out with them every now and then. At least
Whoa!
Yeah,
my car just didn't jump. I was hoping I would land on the other truck.
Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Outside of that, like I haven't really met the people that. It's kind of weird. Like even through work now, it's like most of my clients are just buying stuff for an event or for work. There's very few of them that I would consider like clothing geeks. There's definitely guys that enjoy clothes, but they're not like it's not like a primary focus, or like a huge hobby for them. They just like wearing cool shit. But it's not as like, oh, let's have like a 20-minute discussion about engineered garment, or something like that.
Yeah, and I get that. Yeah, my where I work sucks too.
Yeah. What about you, Jason?
Well, I don't like make friends outside of the internet. I'm not good. I'm not good at meeting people because I don't leave my apartment. But I mean, I met all of you guys, not physically, but because of mentally, because of Dave.
Metaphysically.
Yeah, Dave is the one that like got me into, the chat. And I do know Rory personally because I was there one day when he was here. But like, I'm not. Yeah, same thing with like Kiyoshi. I spend most of my day like at the store, and so the people I talk to, and especially with the customer base that the store I work for has. Yeah, these 30 and 40-year-old men do not care about talking about clothes. They just want the only thing they talk about is, can you make it tighter? And I'm like, I really can't. You're here because you blew out the crotch. I can't make it tighter. It needs to be looser.
Yeah.
Sir.
So,
But I mean, I do go to other shops. Like when I went to J Muser, I mean, I talked to Chase and Matt for like an hour.
yeah.
About things about clothes and stuff. But yeah, it's tough. It's hard to meet. Obviously, it's hard to meet people who are into clothes the way we are outside of the internet. I mean,
Right.
like fuck, even at like events or like sales and stuff, it's still hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
'cause it's
think-
like, what do you go into a store where you're gonna talk about clothes? It's like, yeah, they work there. They like the clothes too. It's always like it's like a kind of a weirdly forced conversation. Like if someone comes in and goes, "Yeah, ties, they're nice," and I'm like, "Yep,
Gotta love them.
gotta love them."
it.
And it's like, "Oh, you're
I-
wearing a suit." Yeah, made it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
I think that at a certain point, I mean, it's nice to have friends who are into menswear, because they'll get it. But I think it's more important to find friends who kind of just get it. At least I don't think it has
nice
to be
just
like
have
Yeah,
friends.
it's nice to have. I mean, you should have
Any
friends that have
kind.
different interests than you. I think that's a good
like
thing in general.
like
I'll
we were-
take
yeah,
any friend.
like, I think we obviously in LA. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are into fashion, but at the end of the day, it's also like if your interests align,
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
most of the people that we know who are into menswear, maybe not in LA, they're a little bit older than us, and they have families or other stuff. Like like Ryan, I think is a good friend of mine, but he has a wife. He works at Netflix. He's not going to be free to game or to kind of.
Right.
I do see him like every once in a while for just like one-on-one, or we'll have lunch or something. But it's not the same thing as me and MJ and Spencer hanging out, or whatever. And I think that's kind of
Eating
more
apps.
important. And like I said in the Discord, when we talk about like how people influence, like, or how other interests influence our style, I think that because my interests were so different beforehand, that making menswear friends is usually not surface level, but like friendly. But at the end of the day, we're probably still gonna go to like the trivia night. We're still gonna go to Boba. We're gonna go play Super Smash Bros. And if they're into that too, then it's cool. But if they're not, then of course we're gonna go separate ways and everything.
Yeah,
So.
I think it's I think the most important thing is just make friends, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
exactly. I mean,
it's just,
yeah.
and then it's like, oh, if they like menswear, great. That's just extra,
Or
It's just to make friends. If you guys go to trivia night, one of you looks like a homeless person, the other one is wearing whatever you want. It's like, okay, who cares? You're at trivia night.
Yeah, we're here for trivia. Exactly.
love
But yeah, I
trivia.
mean, I think definitely early on though, people do like want menswear friends, but I think that's what the internet's for. It's like the perfect amount, because like I would hate if every conversation I had with a friend was like, oh hey, let's talk about what your favorite Nepenthes like brand is. Let's just
Right. I
dive
mean,
in
like,
on that.
well, like when Dave and I hang out, I don't think we ever talk about like clothes. We both like work in like the business. I'm like, we're not gonna sit here in our free time and go, man, did you see what the Armory was posting?
I mean, I'm not gonna
Like,
lie,
no.
it does happen though. It does.
I mean,
happen.
but it's not like we don't go out of our way to talk about it. It's like if it's something like if I see something on like Instagram or whatever, I'll like send it to him and be like, yo, this is crazy. But like if he texts me say, oh, let's go have dinner, it's like the last thing we're probably going to talk about is clothing, unless we're specifically unless I'm like ordering something or like we're making something.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think like my talk with clothing about friends really comes up more in a group chat, like a text chat.
Yeah, for sure.
With like in person. Those conversations tend to just kind of, as conversations do veer off in a million different directions. So I would definitely also say, yeah, it's the older you get and the more removed from like college you get, the harder it is to make friends and maintain friendships. And I would just focus on maintaining the friendships you want to keep around and work on just meeting more and more people and expanding your worldview and finding new interests along the way and hopefully meeting some great people and building that.
Exactly.
Because
if you're only interested.
The clothing part is nice, but really I've always considered almost like a semi-private hobby, not really a social hobby. A way to like really like cement friendships.
It's like if your friends are only into menswear, like if you're only friends with people because we're all into menswear, then it like
that's a really small pool of people.
And it's like it's gonna get boring.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I get like I think that social media. We can talk about social media all day, but I think one thing that
we often do.
It presents that kind of like the lifestyle that people want, and of course, I mean, I think earlier like, I want to be one of the Drake's guys because I want to hang out afterward and be part of the Bullshot Book Club, and all that. And read Infinite Jest.
Who doesn't? But I don't want to read Infinite Jest. That's too thick.
Yeah. Hey, what about Order of the Phoenix?
Hashtag too thick.
Yeah. But I think that it's fun to be a part of, but you should make friends that you actually align with and you want to hang out with more often.
Right.
And that's
how
also
much
kind
do you
of rare.
Think like the Bullshot Book Club is talking about clothing. I doubt they're really.
I mean, the whole thing is ironic. Like the whole thing is that they're not a book club. They're just guys who already hang out and gave themselves a name for it.
Right.
But I was gonna say, I think it's also very rare that that you have friends for just one interest. Maybe that's gaming. I don't know, but I think with menswear, it's such a personal, insular thing that even if like all of us here, I'm sure we would all have fun, grabbing dinner and talk about other stuff. Even though we all like clothes, because we have other stuff that we like as well.
Yeah.
And you won't know that till you get around some other people. Because no, I don't think anyone there is gonna be like, I'm only here to talk just about suits. And if the conversation goes somewhere else, I'm gonna leave. There's no one.
Get up and walk out the door.
You're sitting down, someone hands you like a plate of spaghetti, and you're like, 1930s suits. Meanwhile, like everyone else is talking about like bullshit. And you're just like, I can't believe.
That reminds me of someone, but I'm not going to say who it is. So thank you, Joris, for that question. 1 down, 14 more to go.
Yes, that
we're probably not going to get through all of these.
Yeah, because we did one down half an hour in,